Hey y'all, so today we're going to talk about the things that Black women do not speak on enough. So let's get straight into it. If you guys see me looking down, just know I have notes and that's what I'm looking at. Just a disclaimer. So number one, what Black women do not talk about enough, and they should, is the pressure to always be strong even when breaking. Like dead ass. Like even back to slavery times, you see how strong the Black woman had to be. You get me? You are literally being impregnated from either your husband or you're being raped and being impregnated, and you still gotta work in a hot sun and you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. It's a lot to fucking be us, and I don't think it's talked about enough about the pressure. Like me personally, I have a lot of pressure with like not being too vulnerable to a point where like I'm called too emotional, you know? And it's like, it's very hard to like balance it, because it's like you could be called too emotional or you can be called too tough. Can I not just be a woman? Can I not just be me? Can I not just be sad one day and then feel emotions this day and then feel perfectly fine the next day like any other woman, any other girl, any other human in this earth? Why does mine have to be a label? Like, can I just not be a fucking human being? So like, it's really not talked about the pressure. Like we have a lot of pressure on us to be tough all the fucking time, even when we're literally breaking and dying and gasping for air, like dead ass. Next, being the therapist for everyone else with no one checking in on you. I'm gonna be real. That was me my entire life. Like I was always the therapist friend, the strong friend, to where like I'm always making sure everybody else is okay and their mental health. It really goes with always having to be strong, you know? Like I even play that role at home for my mom, for my dad, you know? A little TMI, but my dad, he just got married 2 days ago. 3 days before that, he told us he was proposing, and the next day they got married. So it was a lot, you know, and it's a lot of baggage that come with that, you know. Everybody is not the happiest about the marriage or whatever, but it's like I still went out of my way to make sure that my dad is good and he's okay, and lets him know that I'm okay with it, so he should relax, and to check on my mom. You know, it's just a lot that come with that, to a point where like I'm not even making sure I'm okay. Me personally, I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure I'm okay, but my first priority was making sure they're okay, and I'm having a brave, strong face for them, even if that decision do affect me and hurt my feelings. You know, I'm gonna make sure they okay, and then I'm gonna come to me and make sure I'm also okay. But it's a lot, you know, it really is a lot. Next, the trauma of constantly having to prove your worth. Like, we live in a world where like as a Black woman, if you're not light skinned, or if you don't have a big butt, small waist, big boobs, clear skin, long hair, like you're really not teen, you're not a bad bitch, you know? And it's like you gotta constantly prove that you are enough, you are pretty enough, you are beautiful in dark, you are beautiful with short hair, you are beautiful when you just slim, you're beautiful when you're chubby, when you're thick, when you're bigger. Like we gotta constantly prove this shit. We gotta constantly prove that we can look good with certain hairstyles when everybody else just try to get their hair done. You know what I'm saying? It's like whether they look good or not, like it's not really like a proven thing, which of course as a human you shouldn't prove yourself to nobody, and I grew out of that. But like growing up, I definitely felt like I had to prove myself, because I didn't feel like I was pretty enough, because that's what I was always told. It would always be dark jokes, it would always be acne jokes, it would always be like skinny like it's always something, you know. I was always, Black women, we get picked on a lot, and it was always something for me specifically. Next, unlearning colorism and how it shapes self-esteem. Like I said earlier, like even back in the slave days, like that was the white man goal, to break us down in every way imaginable. So like with the house niggas, the more lighter tone men and women, they're going in the house and they don't have to slave out here in the sun, and they don't have to get whipped, and they don't gotta pick cotton, and they don't gotta burn up, and they don't gotta do a lot of things that darker skinned women have to do. Like me personally, I would definitely be outside, I would be in the field, but somebody that is sweetie skin tone and Ice Spice skin tone, they're definitely in the house. And the goal was to divide us, which they did, and it just dry make tension. You know, it's like, oh, they think they better than us because they don't got to be outside. Really, we just want to be inside. Really, we don't want to do this at all, but if we got to do this, we'd rather be inside. And it kind of like invalidate the house women pain and struggle too, because they were more prone to being raped and they were more prone to more beatings, honestly, and more disrespect, like in-house disrespect. It was a lot that we all had to go through, and it's like, because they separated us through skin tones, it just kind of desensitized everybody. And it's very much been brought from slavery time to today time to a point where if you're not light skinned, a lot of people not looking your way. Like growing up as a dark skinned woman, dark skinned girl, like I heard all the dark jokes, fam. And I'm not even just super chocolate or super dark skinned. I was darker as a kid, I must admit, but like I got all the dark skin jokes. I got, you turn the light off, where's Danae, in front of the whole classroom. I got, you know, just like eating everything. And it's like, now it is definitely more normalized, and it's more like more infatuation to it. But back in the day, even still to this day, honestly, in some areas and just really everywhere, it's kind of just on more accepted on social media, but people in real life still do like the darky joke and you're too black for that hair color, you're too dark for that. Like people still go there, you know, and it's like it causes tension again of like, you think you're better than me. And lighter skin tone black women do often get treated better or different because they are lighter, and people will just naturally feel like they are attractive because they're lighter, when it could be somebody that's 30 times darker but genuinely look better. Like, it's a lot, but it definitely fucks with your self-esteem, because you start to feel like, okay, if I was lighter I'd be prettier, you know, like I'm too dark, you know, like you just start to accept what reality is and like take it personal. But reality, people are just projecting, like they just dislike their skin tone, or they just dislike black people, and they trying to make you dislike yourself, you know. But it's not talked about enough to like break the cycle for real. Next, there's a lot of toxic mother and daughter dynamics. I must be real and honest about it. Every situation is different, but there are a lot of moments where like black women may feel like you gotta grow up and you gotta be a woman young, and you gotta take care of the kids, which would be like their brothers and sisters. You gotta make sure you clean, and they don't really have the opportunity to be a kid, and that causes a lot of like tension in the house. And some of them like are pretty strict and still use like slavery like mind tactics to discipline children or whatever, so it causes a lot of drama in the house. Next, financial trauma and growing up with lack. From the beginning of time, that was the goal, for us to never really achieve much and have much. So we are to a degree forever set back and forever treated unfairly in this cruel world. So it's like, again, a lot of us don't really have space to be kids. We gotta make money to feed the house. We gotta make money to keep the lights on. We gotta make money to survive, you know, and it's just not fair. And lastly, lack of generational wealth and the pressure to break curses. So like my mom, for an example, had her first son at 17, so it was a lot of pressure on me growing up to like, I can't have a boyfriend, I can't, you know, even at 18 I still can't have a boyfriend, you know, like you can't have sex. Like it's just a lot of rules and stipulations. And again, without the general wealth, like you behind with a lot of shit, because being poor is expensive, being low class, middle class is expensive, you know, like life is hard. I'm gonna be honest, like life is hard for a black woman. The most disrespected person in America is a black woman, because as a black period, you are looked as less than, but as a woman, you're like downright nothing, you know, like as a whole. And I'm gonna wrap it up after this, but like as a whole, black people, we got our freedom far before women alone got their freedom and rights, you know? So it's like, it's just a lot of stipulations that we gotta go through that's not really talked about enough. I have more things that I could talk about. I could definitely make a part 2 if you guys enjoy this video. But yeah, we just got it tough, you know, and it's so important to build that relationship with yourself, because the relationship you build with yourself reflects the relationships all around you, and it helps you set the tone for the rest of your life, honestly, and allow you to break those generational curses and start speaking up about certain things and shaping your own confidence in your own way of life, you know. So yeah, I love y'all. Bye.